Right.
And your daughter's like in the middle row.
Right.
And so I noticed she kind of looks like Lady Gaga with like platinum blonde hair.
Yes.
And so then I look at her and I go, who's this? You know, and then she's like this. She looks back at me like this. And I said, oh no, man, that's Ina, you know. And she looked beautiful, like she was in heaven. She had a big smile on her face. And I didn't feel sad or mad or confused or angry or nothing. It's like she had this big smile, like, hey, I'm cool, where am I? You know, I'm moved on. And so it was really a good vision, a good dream. And it was real. I mean, it was really real. I could see her face, you know. And she looked right into me, looked right at me. So that was it was just amazing. I was so wrapped up to it this morning, I couldn't tell you because it was kind of heavy to talk about.
Yeah. Ooh. Well, that's kind of confirmation because
I had a dream about her the other night.
Yeah.
Really?
At the house.
Really?
She told me, well, because Mom was taking Alex to his PBTs, and Mom came into my room. She was like, hey, I'm going to go take Alex to his PBT. And she was like, I already told Ina. Ina's sleeping in the other room. And I was like, okay. And I rolled over and I went back to sleep. And when I woke up, I realized my mom said that Ina's still there.
Well, yeah, you know, the night before you guys had the wake, I'm sitting there playing some songs I thought that Ina would like, you know, and she goes over to my couch and she sits right down on the couch. I see the couch like somebody's sitting there, just sitting right there. So she liked some of them songs I was playing, you know. She was having a good time watching
them. She would. Yeah. Well, one night I was driving the van on the road that I just now came, and I looked back in the back seat right there, and I was so freaked out. I didn't know. It looked like Ina, but she was sitting on the floor of down there. But her face, like you said, it looked like Lady Gaga. And I mean, because it was really like a look that was very strong, but it was dark in the van. And I was like, did I see Ina? Was that Ina? Or was that a bad spirit, you know? But I had to drive the rest away in the dark. So that's why I told her, I said, hey, can you ride with me? But then I thought about it later. I was thinking maybe, you know, I don't have to be afraid, you know, but that was kind of a chilling feeling, you know.
Well, I've been trying my best not to think about it, you know, and then maybe it was like a couple, 3 days afterwards, you know, I was just sitting there in the morning, you know, I'll meditate and talk to God for a little while, pray, whatever. And I feel some sadness, you know, some like when somebody that heartfelt or important goes out of your life. I mean, I can't really even explain how hard it must be for you and your sisters, their sisters, Alex. I mean, it must be really rough.
It is. Alex has been hearing tapping on the window, like 3 taps.
Wow.
And then was it night before she came, Ina told him, because Ina said, you're not going to see me for a while, but I'll be back. And prior to that, he kept feeling he would come and see me in my room because I'm clear on the other side of the house, and then he'd be like, Mom, I felt somebody laid down next to me.
Oh,
I can't go to sleep. But even prior to that, a few nights before that, I had been feeling like Ina was trying to lay in bed, so I was trying to make room because I was in the room with Ava, and she wanted to lay in her bed. But so I lay a room, but I always wake up because Ava keeps kicking me over. So then I end up taking the bed. But then Alex comes in the middle of the night, and he says, "Mom, make room for Ina. She wants to lay down."
Jeez.
And it's like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Ugh.
And so I moved over. I go, "You're right."
Okay.
But then I didn't want to really lay in there because I felt like, just her spirit just wants to be in there, and like she always does, and she just wants her room to be her room. And here I was trying to take apart her room, and then now I don't feel that. I feel like I was just angry and mad because I wake up, I was being selfish, angry and mad, and just wanting to get rid of everything. But now I got to put it back. There's not a lot to put back. I just got to put back her makeup table and put her clothes to where, but I'm going to put them on half the side of the closet, but I'm going to share the spot with her,
When my daughter died, she's like 3.5. We used to always put like the bananas and pears and oranges way on the very top in the kitchen on the cupboards.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly so nobody could, eat them up real fast. And Lindsay would always find them anyway. She'd go up there and try to grab a pear or something.
Mm-hmm.
So after she passed away, we could hear somebody climbing on them cabinets, like they're reaching up, trying to grab a banana or something up way on the top of the cabinets. It was kind of freaky for a while. But
Yeah.
I think it could be a year that they, get a chance to go or stay around. I'm not really sure.
Even though Alex said that she was going to be gone for a while, I felt like I already know, because I already went with that journey with her. I already seen her up there, and yeah, she has a beautiful smile. And other people said that they have seen that she has a really beautiful smile, so that was validation. My sister was in the tub, and she said, "Oh, Janelle," it was like she came and said, "Thank you for helping my mom, coming back and giving her family," because I didn't have no family prior to that. It was just me and my kids. And actually the only person that was there for me was Ina. That was it. Out of my 6 children, I only had one that was with me night and day, 24 hours a day. I was with her, she was with me. And don't matter if she was far away, we were always together. And then it was like, now I have my sisters, my adopted sister and my natural sister, calling me, texting me, giving me, one sister giving me godly word, the other sister giving me traditional, trying to give me traditional medicine, trying to help me. And then I still couldn't do this. And now Tony was acting strange, and the spirit told me a long time ago, and I told Ina, I said, Tony's going to disappear for like 3 months. Well, he's leaving, and he didn't even leave me the key. He usually leaves me the key and lets me drive his car. He didn't do any of that, and he was just going to sneak away. And I haven't been with him for a long time, but I'm still his friend, and I was supposed to take care of his cat. And I had a weird feeling, and I kept telling her, I said, God's letting me know that there's going to be some changes, and I'm going to have to adjust. That some of my friends are not my friends, and
I think, Janelle, there's a lot of different times where people have their own way of grieving. And I think sometimes people take it kind of personal. And another way is to try to work it out their own way. Like sometimes they go away, like you're saying.
maybe. And my gift is that I already knew a long time ago that there's something about money There's something that's going to happen and change people's lives. And I'm not too sure where or how or if and, what side it's going to come from. Sometimes I thought it was going to come from Tony, but then Tony doesn't really care about the things that God told me that had to be done. So, but God told me not to be judgmental, even though things like that hurt me. It doesn't matter because God told me to just do what he told me to do. So, what do you think about that? I was at Harvest and I fell out in the spirit. I felt everything. God told me to touch the back of my neck, so I felt that jolt go through my brain, and then my brain felt like it goes big and small, big and small. My eyes were going all over, and I go through blackness, and then I see Ina at the bright light, and she says, "I'm okay." She goes, "Let me show you where I'm at." And then what happens next, she's looking at with these gold streets, but we're in a courtyard. In the courtyard, there's 3 people, and I thought, are these monks? Or who are they? Because they have brown shirts. But then I later find out one was her dad, one was her brother, and the other one was her ex-boyfriend, the first love. And then I didn't know that, but they went away. But then she pointed down. She goes, "Let me show you where I'm at." And then she pointed down. I look, and it looks like gold streets without gold, but it's reflecting everything around as if you're walking on glass or water, but it's just like see-through, and you're just walking on it. So then a pastor went and called me back and had me stand up because I had asked the Lord, I said, "Can I be next? Can I stay here?" And he said, "Yes, I will be next." So then when I came back, I was all excited about that I would be next because I know that this is a good place. But when I came back, now I'm thinking, but God wanted me to come back because there were things that I had to finish. I have to settle everything.
That's the same exact thing I felt when I was in the hospital when my knee was injured and stuff. That I was getting close to the other side, and I actually felt like if God takes me and this disease in my knee gets worse and they can't cure me, that they were, taking 3 or 4 blood samples, like 3 a day sometimes. And I said, if I do go, I'm not going to feel that bad about it. Because my daughter's up there, my grandma and grandpa, my native mom, my native brother, one of my oldest brothers is up there. I had a lot of people that I call it strings of heaven that could pull me to heaven if almost feel like if I wanted to go. And I almost felt like, hey, this could be cool. I could go see my daughter, I felt that way. Almost like a lifting up. Like, if this happens where God wants me to go, I guess I'll go, And then I got to thinking about all my sons. Like you're saying, maybe I have to finish some stuff. And I kept thinking, maybe I didn't teach all my boys everything yet. So I asked God for some more time. If He heals me, I'm going to serve His kingdom stronger. And I think all of us are built into where we know God. I think we're all built in with some kind of anointing.
No, it's getting warm, huh?
To where you feel like you can feel that your direction inside of you with God.
Right.
And so I was telling my boys the same thing. I said, I probably could have went, but I missed you boys and I want to be around you guys. And I came back for you guys. want to spend time and teach you guys some more things. And I don't think it's even stuff that, like, you go up to an oven and you have a recipe and you could teach somebody how to cook, or teach them not to burn it, or teach them how to do it slow so the flavor stays in it. But if in spiritual ways, you can nudge them or elevate their level of awareness to get them closer to the Lord, get them to spiritual levels. And eventually, I think that they will catch on.
Mm-hmm.
They will find it. If you're there in your heart and you have some earnestness out of your heart toward helping them, I think eventually they will learn stuff. To where, like, let's say you did have a heart attack and die, or something bad happens and you pass away. They're going to start remembering all the stuff you taught them. They're going to start remembering all the things you were explaining to them out of your heart. You know, I try to do that with my boys now, and I think they came to Thanksgiving. 3 of them came to Thanksgiving, so that was cool. They're just moving a little bit closer to God, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was their age, maybe I didn't want to do a lot of things with God and church either, you know. But when they were little guys, I took them to the Sundance twice up in Greengrass, and they learned a little bit about spiritual things with the native side. And you know, every now and then, you want to have them learn stuff before something like a car accident, or, you know what I mean, something bad happens.
Exactly.
Like one of your sons.
Yes. That's definitely.
You got a road well traveled too. With some spiritual things. I call it like, you know, if a native warrior goes into battle and he loses a brother, or let's say he gets shot in the arm and he can't feel his wrist or whatever, they call that having a blood scar. And also, you know, the natives...
Am I in the way of them?
No.
Okay.
The natives, the elders, if you lose somebody close, you also get a blood scar.